Dave, first, just with Clayton Kershaw, did he give you a heads up at any point that he was feeling a little bit of joint inflammation? When did you find out about it?
I didn't find out about it until, right the day after we got back, so yesterday. I think that I saw the bullpen in Pittsburgh. He felt good, it looked good, and then I think that the flight got him. And when he got back, it locked up, and so after that he went and saw the doctor and just felt that, an IL situation was needed.
He told us that right now he does feel a little bit of pain, but he had epidural. He does think it's only going to be the 15-day IL stint. How does that then change your plans with looking at the rotation, looking at this week, and with how many games there are? What does that mean for you?
Yeah, it certainly changes. I do believe that it'll be a brief stint on the IL, but obviously with Walker moving up in the rotation, with Julio moving up in the rotation, just kind of figuring out, who's going to supplant Clayton, and we just don't know that right now. We got the doubleheader coming on Tuesday, so we've got some in-house candidates as far as in the system that we're talking about.
Julio's moving up to pitch tomorrow.
That's the plan, yeah.
What gives you confidence that it's going to be a brief stint with Clayton?
Just kind of looking at previous years of him going through this similar situation, getting an epidural, and how his body responds to it.
So do you think that this ties into...
The pain's in his back, yeah.
So do you think that this ties into past back issues that he's dealt with?
Yeah, I do. I don't know if it's... I certainly think that there's a common thread, yeah.
Dave, how does David Price fit in? How can he help you during the stretch of so many games without a day off?
David's coming. I think that it'll most likely be in that Arizona series next week. He's going to do an up and down, so to be able to have him be fresh, to be able to go, do an up and down, I think will be very helpful. But I don't know exactly what day he'll be back with us.
How realistic is it to believe that he can help you more than just one up and down?
Right now, David, I don't think it's realistic right now. I think having his experience, his arm, the ability to take down, 5 or 6 hitters, realistic, but anything beyond that right now just doesn't seem feasible.
Is Clayton going to keep throwing, or is he shut down for a certain amount of time? Or?
I think, as I understand it, he's going to be shut down for a few days, and then he'll begin playing catch.
Is there a specific date that is most likely for you guys to pop in an extra starter for that in-house type thing that you mentioned?
We're looking at kind of the 30-day outlook on our rotation, but certainly, obviously, Tuesday we're going to have somebody, and then probably this weekend.
Would Tony possibly be candidate to move up to Sunday, or is that sort of...
We haven't made that decision, but that everything's on the table right now.
Does this increase the chances that Pepiot comes back to pitch Tuesday?
Certainly doesn't hurt Ryan's chances.
You said that you wanted to use like a 6-man rotation of stretches. Do you still have the ability to do that if Clayton's hurt? Do you kind of have to look at, even if like Pepiot's back, like kind of where does that leave that?
Yeah, we don't have. That takes a lot more rotation gymnastics now that we have Clayton down for a couple weeks yet.
Dave, as you're managing Clayton's workload, whether that's between starts or even in a game, are you worried about the back? Are you worried about the elbow? Are you worried about all of it?
I wouldn't. I mean, it's a fair question. I wouldn't say worried, but I think that I have to. It has to be on my mind, and it is. I think that's the responsible way to look at things, and I mean, you guys have seen how. I think you still have to understand the history of a player, of any player, but still know, and it's and Clayton's an easy bet, obviously, to go out there and perform. But you guys have seen the way I've sort of, managing, for the moment, but also for the long term. So I do know that he and I are in lockstep as far as the ultimate goal is to make sure he's healthy through October. So, and I still expect that.
Coach, based on the last 2 games and facing a new Philadelphia pitcher today, what are your expectations?
I expect more of what we did in the second part of last night's game. We're familiar with Gibson, and we just got to swing at strikes, take balls, and I expect Walker to throw the baseball well tonight.
Is this the kind of injury with Clayton that you have to, that has the potential to linger if it's not like nipping the bud right away, or is that something you're kind of factoring in right now? How you guys deal with it?
I think we're all very familiar with it, and like I said, Clayton's body's really responded in the past to the epidural. So I think for all of us, we're hopeful that we can get through this and expect him to make all the starts when he gets back.
Just all that baked in, along with managing for October, like you guys have sort of talked about since the beginning. Does that make him more willing, maybe, to sort of disclose when he's not feeling 100%, maybe more willing to sort of sit out a period like this, even though it's more difficult?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that he came back here to give us a chance to win the World Series this year, and so there's going to have to be some managing of workload, and so he's very, with his experiences and all that stuff, and obviously intelligence, he knows when to push, when not to push, and right now is not that time. So to take a step back and to kind of listen to your body, it's the prudent way to handle it.
With moving Walker and Julio up a day, do you have to manage them differently, or are they kind of a full go for today and tomorrow?
I think they're a full go. Obviously, we wanted to give these guys an extra day for a reason, but then to have to read and react, which they did, and we did, and they did. But as the game goes, I'll kind of manage it accordingly, but I don't think there's any, right now, much of a cost.
How is Will doing with that pec issue?
He's doing well. He was trying to, he said he was okay for tonight, but I'll get him a DH day tomorrow, and then he'll catch 3 in a row, so he'll essentially play 3 out of 4.
I think Andre Jackson and Michael Grove are the 2 starters you guys have on the 40-man. Or is there anyone else that's in consideration for making a spot start this weekend?
No.
Are those just those 2?
I think you've narrowed it down, Jack.